I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
My 29 years in prison, I've seen several people learn the hard way what happens when you break this rule. Everybody knows what this rule is, but I'm going to tell a few stories about it. First one happens at Missouri State Penitentiary. I hadn't been there very long, and I was coming back from chow. There was a guy, he had tears. There's a guy tied a sheet to the top tier rail and ended it. And I was just shocked. I was like, man. And everybody said, man, just mind your own business, man. So I found out later that he had gotten robbed and went and told on the people. Two guys went in there and took his manhood, and so he decided to end it. The second one, same thing, guy got robbed. It was canteen day, and just came back from a commissary, and he got robbed. And he told. And so they, at lunchtime, he came down there, and he had a lock that he's going to use as a weapon. And he's asking people for help. Nobody would help him because he told. All these blacks, there's a whole bunch of them, jumped this guy because their partner was, two of them I think it was, got locked up because he told. And they just beat and kicked and stomped, and it was horrible. Guards was trying to get to him. They couldn't get to him because everybody was trying to get a piece of this guy that was friends with the guys that he caused to get locked up. And it was horrible. It was so bad that I almost felt sorry for the guy. But, it's one of those rules you just don't break. The third one, the guy was a cellie of mine, and people was telling me, man, this dude's a snitch and this and that. So I ain't gonna go off of work, because sometimes people just make things up because they're trying to get somebody taken out. So I went and asked him. I said, hey man, people saying you snitch. Is that true? He told me it was. He said, man, people keep trying to take my canteen and keep pressing me for my canteen and stuff. He goes, I have to do something. I said, fight. So he ends up getting moved, and apparently he came back from the canteen. He had all his stuff. He put his name on all his stuff, and he got robbed. And he told, and he said, man, all you gotta do is just find, I got my name and number on my canteen. So they searched every cell. They even got my cell. They just went through, and I think he might have told them who he thought it was, but they still searched everybody. And they found out who had it, locked him up, and that guy got beat up on the yard. Bad. I mean, I think he might have even got stuck. I'm not sure, but I do know he got beat down real bad, and they took him to a medical, and I think he ended up getting taken out of the prison. But I never did see him again. But one day, I was in Licking, when I was in, and somebody comes in and they get talking about Potosi, and they mentioned it, and they said he was part of a group, or some group of white guys that got together and kind of a racist group. And I said, really? And I'm laughing. He goes, yeah, that's true. You know him? I said, yeah, dude's a snitch. And I told him about everything that happened. He goes, oh man, he's running around like he's a tough guy in Potosi. He goes, I'm going to send him word down there. And I don't know if he ever did or not. But the thing of it is, I hope nobody ever goes to prison. But if you do go to prison, there's just some things you do not know. Just like I talked in my last video. You do not snitch on people. You mind your own business. You don't get in debt. You know, you don't be nosy. There's just all kinds of things you should not do. But you got people that break these rules all the time for some reason. There's people that get in debt and then check in thinking that they got away without paying. And what happens? It catches up with them sooner or later, especially if they're doing a lot of time. Sooner or later they're going to come out in the yard, maybe in another prison somewhere, and somebody's going to find out, knowing. Or the word's going to get to them, man, this dude's a snitch. And, or this dude, he owes me money. Do not, I don't know why people do stupid things in prison that they know can get them hurt, but you got people doing it all the time. And snitching is like way up there at the top, that you do not do that. You know, these old timers told me, old heads told me, because I was using ratting and snitching interchangeably like they're the same thing, and they told me it's not the same thing. Ratting's what you do when you tell on your partner, you know, your partner in crime. Snitching's what you do. He goes, it's like when you're a kid and you tattletelling. You telling over things that you don't even need to be telling on. Or you're telling on something that happened. Take care of it. I said, well, I asked them old heads, I said, so, like if somebody sees you on the streets committing a crime, and, you know, some old lady looking out the window, and she calls the police, is she a rat? And they said, no. She's doing her duty as a citizen. That shocked me. And a dude kind of laughed, and he goes, we may not like it, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. He goes, ratting is criminals telling on other criminals. Snitching is, you know, people just snitching. Or, you know, instead of handling about something that happened to them in prison, they go and tell. Instead of handling it. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are